I think Diego is just trying to assert his dominance right now. He's running about even. But it does look like he's on another flyer. At the moment, Diego is just absolutely flying. Absolutely no fear. Through Sector 2, has he managed to find improvement? No, he's still just a little bit under his previous time. The only chance he has to... Oh, getting a little bit of oversteer. Yep, that's going to be it for his time. But I'd say with a time like that, pole position is pretty secure for him. Bubba, as he's out on track now, looking to challenge that time. Although, to beat it, he would need to find half a second. That's easier said than done. So going through Sector 1, has he found improvement? He's already found about a 10th and a half. So, at the moment, off to a solid start. Can he find more time through these final two sectors? Through, getting ahead. This is going to be a much better run. And he's found 3/10 now on this lap. All he needs is a little over 2 more, but will be able to take pole. At the moment, though, he has found enough improvement to start on the front row. It's going to be these final couple turns that make the difference between him starting second and first. Getting ready to cross the line. This is going to be close, but he doesn't manage to do it. Missing out still by a little under a 10th and a half. Still, that will be enough for a front row start. Gary and Trash are getting ready to run some new laps, preparing to fight back. Sully's found a lot of improvement here, actually. 3/10, how much more time has he found? Crossing the line, he's going to be able to go 5th. Just 1/100th off of Trash's lap. But Bullock gets between the both of them to take 5th away from Sully. You can see just how close these margins are starting to get into this tail end of qualifying. We have under a minute and a half remaining. Will Diego still be able to hold on to pole, or will one of these drivers right behind him steal it from him? Budden's going to be looking for every meter of improvement he can get a hold of. Heading strong on the exit. How much time has he found? He's actually down by 10 seconds. Never mind. Gary did find plenty of improvement in the past. And he's going on a new lap now. Trash will not be able to improve. Bullet, at the moment, will also be unable to improve. Still, I think is going on a flyer, though. And Bullet just might be getting in the way. Never mind. He's going to be a good few seconds down. Actually, Spunk has already invalidated their lap. Deacon is running on a new lap right now, though. He's already found a 10th Sector 1. That will allow him to put himself ahead of Spunk. A little, I would say, not an ideal exit out of turn 12. And indeed, he has lost that time he gained. Wow, he really got on the edges of track limits there. I'm amazed that lap didn't get invalidated. And Diego's running on a new hot lap now, I guess, to just ensure he's got a safe pole position. Gary getting ready to cross the line. He will not be able to find improvement. Trash, I don't think we'll be able to find any either, but Gary will have enough time to run one more lap. Now, Thomas found some improvement here. Could he beat Sully to take 6th? Yes. Yes, he could. And then he could take positions away from Trash and Gary to take 3rd as well, putting himself 100th ahead of Gary. Question I'm wondering is Gary on another flying lap? Because if so, he might be able to take it back. Trash, I think, is getting ready to finish up a lap here. It's going to be close as he crosses the line, but I don't know if he's going to be able to find improvement. Actually, he does, putting himself only 4 thousandths ahead of Not Pop to take the lead of the second row. Gary, meanwhile, he's found 2.5 tenths. he just might be able to seal the front row start for Budweiser, if not challenge Diego for pole. It's going to be close going to this final lap. Oh! Diego just ensured a spot, and Gary just lagged heavily there. Despite that, he will be able to seal that front row spot from Budweiser to start second. And we're just waiting on one more driver. It's going to be Deacon making his way into the pits. That's going to be the end of qualifying. Diego's going to start on pole position. Gary joining him on the front row, followed up by Budweiser and Soli, Trash and Not Pop, Bullet and Solar, Deacon and Astro, Pyrex and Infernazo, GDG and Spunk, Blitz and Lou Layton, Atmos, Petit, and Rowdy TJ Boy and Crispy. The chat from Solar, I made a big mistake the last two turns. Yeah, those turns can easily throw a driver out because they spend so much time focusing on all the other turns that they just forget to execute this one right. It's going to be the end of qualifying. Looks like Aston Martin and Red Bull have had not exactly ideal qualifying positions, but this is Imola where anything can happen, and I mean anything. Easily, the person who started last, like Crispy, could very well win the race. That is very well possible because safety cars, incidents, this track is just... it's like a magnet for it. Anything can happen here. And once again this week, we have a full wet start. And let me guess, at the end it's going to dry out and then it's going to be full clear skies again, right? Exactly how it's been the past 2 or 3 races here at Imola this week. So the question I'm wondering is, how many of these drivers have put on a wet setup? Because depending on what happens, I think it's going to produce an interesting result. Alright, here we are in the formation lab. Now, let's check in with the tire strategy, and I want you to guess what tire they're going to use. I think we're going to see a variety of tire choices, like the wet tire, occasionally the wet tire, and wow, look at that pit stop strategy. Wet tire to wet tire. Interesting variety there. But I think some of these drivers are also going to take a little bit more of an aggressive approach and pick the wet tire. And checking in, wow, all wets. Could have seen that one coming in this kind of weather. An absolute downpour. And I don't know if it's going to be stopping anytime soon. And, well, that's wet weather for you. It is, in a sense, a great equalizer. And as I said before, this track is already kind of slippery. This is even worse when it's completely soaked. So I have a feeling we're going to see a few drivers spin out. Oh, and the chat from Solar. Ayo, wet race. I'm so effed. Yeah. Yeah. So, due to the nature of the wet weather and the slippery track, at this point, you're not really going to be watching Formula 1 anymore so much as you're going to be watching Formula Drift. Maybe a little bit of the World Rally Championship. If some of these drivers go off the track, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. So these cars are lining up to get ready for the start of this race. We're just waiting on Crispy to catch up. If you look, Sully and Pop most likely had a collision, so disqualified. Their tires are going to be suffering off this start. We're just waiting on... Is that the Red Bull of Blitz? No, it's his teammate, GDG, at last pulling up, and we'll be able to get started. And here we go. 5 red lights are going to be coming on once again this week at Imola. And it's lights out and away we go. Looks like Diego has a solid getaway. Maybe not for long though. Gary's immediately going to fight him for the lead and manages to succeed. Diego might be in danger of losing another position as Budweiser signing up a move going into turn 2. It's going to be close and the McLaren of Solar just completely goes off the track. He's going to be losing many positions for that mistake. And already, it looks like Fernandez is going incredibly slowly. That's going to allow Luke Layden to make his way past, now running in 12th. Oh, and that's going to be rough for him. And already, you can see positions are changing like crazy at the moment. The two Ferraris going wheel to wheel for a moment. Spunk is taking advantage of the start to run away with it. Astro starting to approach his teammate. Now, Solar didn't exactly have an ideal start, completely going off into the gravel turn 2, but he has a chance to make a comeback. Bullet is struggling right now in the rain with oversteer proving to be an issue for him. Let's hope he doesn't get caught out like a certain Monegasque Ferrari driver around here, and already looks like he had some struggles through there. At least he didn't take his car for a spin. Meanwhile, Solar loses out on another position to the Alpine of Evernazzo. And just listen to those downshifts from his car. That's going to be a time penalty already for Atmos. Luke Layden is continuing his surge up to the front. And now he's going to have to contest the Alpine, but he's going to have to watch out in his rearview mirrors is Solar. And he could be eyeing up a move here. It would be a bit of a dive if he made that attempt, and he's not going to go for it. And here we go now. Astro is quite close behind Pop. He may be eyeing up a move soon enough to get past and then get alongside his teammate. This would give Williams a very good result at the moment. Let's check in with the penalties. Already we have a couple drivers going in, Crispy and Atmos. Do they have a collision off the start? Atmos already has a penalty. Meanwhile, Spunk manages to get past Deacon, who's having a bit of a struggle here. Bullet might be looking for an opportunity. Luke Layden back there nearly spinning out, having to save his car there. But despite that, he will still be gaining. And Gary's going to set the fastest lap. He's just immediately making a getaway. He seems very comfortable in the wet. Diego's just losing more and more time to him. Meanwhile, Solar, he's about to go wheel to wheel with Luke Layden going into turn 2. It's going to be close. Oh, that's going to be a little bit too close for comfort, actually. And now Solar is in danger of potentially losing another position. He's having to defend from the Red Bull. But those 3 cars are getting incredibly close behind them. 5 cars at the moment battling for P12. ATJ Boy's going to eye up a move on the inside of Pyrex. And it looks like he just might make this move succeed. No, he can't. He's going to have to remain behind. These cars at the back are extremely close. Luke Layden having to lead all of them and keeping them all just behind. Oh, and Solar has lost a little bit of speed there. That's going to leave him vulnerable to attack from Blitz, but he's going to be forced to back out due to the chicane here. But if Solar fumbles it a little bit, that could leave him vulnerable once again. And I do think Blitz is going to have a better run. He might be looking for a move on the inside. He is going to be sending it. Never mind. He's actually going to back out. Meanwhile, Bull actually has a 3-second time penalty. That is going to hurt a lot going into the end of this race. Yellow flag in Sector 3. Something has happened. Pyrex has gone for a spin, resetting the track. He's going to be able to get moving once again. Meanwhile, Solar makes his way past Luke Layton to take a hold of 12th place. I don't know if he'll be able to hold it for long. Actually, Luke Layton seems to be struggling. He may be in danger of losing position to his sister team's car with Blitz in the Red Bull. Blitz is looking for an opportunity here. Wow, that was an interesting line he took, and that's going to allow him to get ahead. Is there a possibility Luke Layton has damage? He suddenly lost a lot of pace here. Either that or he's just struggling in the wet weather. He seemed okay previously. Meanwhile, Fernandez is eyeing up a move on Deacon. I don't know if you want to make a move there. I'm glad he chose to back out, as fighting there isn't exactly an ideal position. Deacon is in danger of losing another position here. Fernandez is going to be eyeing up a move perhaps, but Deacon manages to get just enough of a solid run to be able to hold on to 10th, at least for the moment. But he's going to have 4 very fast cars behind, but he managed to pull away very well. A solid exit. Meanwhile, Astro, he's pretty much stuck exactly where he was before. Most of these drivers are in the exact same position, but Spunk may be able to eye up a move on Trash here in a short moment. Actually, he might be doing it sooner than I think. If Trash messes up his line, oh, that is going to be a mistake. Spunk is going to get a much better run and put his car along the inside, now ahead. Going into the chicane, Trash will be forced to back out, and Spunk is going to be able to take 7th. Oh, wait, well, looks like they're going wheel to wheel once again. Trash is looking to make that move back, but simply can't find the speed he's looking for to get past Spunk. He's going to have to remain in 8th, at least for now. Meanwhile, this battle back here is still running very fiercely. Solar is going to have the Red Bull Blitz right behind him, looking for a potential move. And at the moment, this weather is not letting up whatsoever. It's still an absolute downpour. But exiting the chicane properly is going to be very important to get a good rundown in terms of speed. I think Blitz may have gotten it. He might be able to send it on the inside. He is going to go for it. An absolute send from Blitz, nearly forcing Solar off the track there. He's going to have to take not the most comfortable line, but he does manage to put himself just ahead. Solar's little overseer there might leave him vulnerable to Luke Layton, but now getting a long run down this straight. Solar might be able to put himself alongside. He will be able to just enough to be able to go side by side going into turn 2. Oh, but Blitz did not leave enough room for him there. Blitz practically forced him off the track, and he's going to get a penalty for it as well. Unfortunate. Meanwhile, Luke Layton will be able to go side by side with the Mercedes of Deacon. He'll be forced to back out, though. Well, Napop is going to pick up a penalty as well. And Astro appears to be gaining on the Alfa Romeo. Napop is struggling right now, and now Astro will finally be able to get past the Alfa Romeo to get up there with his teammate. Both Williams are now running in the top 5. Flag in Sector 2, Pyrex has gone for a bit of a spin. Oh, he's going to go for another one. And he's going to reset the track as well. Gary once again sets the fastest lap. He appears to be completely comfortable in the wet. That's good news because, well, this weather is not appearing to let up whatsoever. Actually, I want to say it's not as severe as it was before. It's a little bit better, but not by much. Meanwhile, once again near the back of the pack, Solar is looking for potential opportunity to get past Layton and probably catch up to Blitz and make his way past once again. Blitz did completely force him off the track at turn 2. Solar was entitled to that space, and Blitz just simply did not give it to him. And he's going to be losing out on a lot of time for that. And not only that, he also got the 3-second time penalty because he was forced off the track. I imagine he's going to have a few words to the stewards once this is all over. But he's right on the heels of Luke Layton. He's going to be looking for a move, but that's going to be a struggle of an exit. He won't be able to make it right now. Here we go now. Solar's going to get a much better run. He's going to be able to put himself on the inside of the AlphaTauri of Luke Layton and going in very deep. Oh, Luke Layton nearly goes into the side of him. But Solar will be able to take 13th place. But Luke Layton is going to be eyeing up the move back. They're going to be going side by side going into the chicane. But Luke Layton is forced to slow down and back out. He's going to have to look for another opportunity to make an attack. As you can see, Luke Layton is just looking for any opening he can, but he may be vulnerable to the Aston Martin of TJ right behind him, as well as GDG gaining a lot of time here. And Gary is going to set another fastest lap. Now Papa's going to be vulnerable to losing yet another position. Spunk has a much better run. He's going to be able to put his car on the outside and clear the Alfa Romeo to take 6th place. And probably next up to take a position from... Oh, something is happening to Deacon. Oh, he's going into the pits. He's retiring from the session. Strange. He seemed to be running okay. I don't know why he suddenly retired. That seemed kind of out of nowhere. Meanwhile, Solar is once again resuming his charge. He's going to want to get back at Blitz soon enough, but he's going to be 4 seconds down. It's going to be a long time before he can potentially make any gains. Yellow flag at Sector 3. I wonder what it could possibly be. Respi's going to collect a penalty, though. Oh, Atmos has retired as well. I think he's retired in the pits. We have another driver just simply giving up, it seems. Meanwhile, Astro has actually caught up to his teammate. He seems to be more comfortable in the wet. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to let Astro go by and chase after Budweiser for a podium. Frisbee's going to get a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. I have a feeling Crispy is going to join Atmos and Deacon in retiring in the pits. Indeed, there he goes. 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Yep, he's going to immediately retire from the session. 3 drivers have now retired in the pits. I just think they were tired of fighting at the back. Meanwhile, Diego's going to pick up a 3-second time penalty. That is not good for him, but is within that distance, so he might be able to steal second place from him. Wow, catching up with Astro. He's still stuck behind his teammate. And the two are about even distance from Budweiser. I do think Astro has better pace. Budweiser's going to collect a 3-second time penalty. That is really not good for him, as Sully and Astro will be quickly going on an offensive. Budweiser's also lost a lot of time. This could leave him vulnerable to attack from both Williams. Oh, and looks like we got information from Deacon. Looks like he was very frustrated. He said, "Why are we racing in conditions F1 but canceling? This game isn't good enough to introduce another straight RNG variable. Whoever wins today, congrats, you have the best RNG. I don't know why we're wasting everyone's time with full wet conditions. A whole week of practice to let RNG decide the outcome. Wait, what a waste of time. I mean, I don't know how this is RNG. This is wet weather racing. If anything, this is the furthest you can get from RNG because, well, it's all your own skill. If you can't keep control in the wet weather, that's kind of your problem." And I mean, I would not say, like, the top 3 at the moment got here because RNG. They did very well in qualifying, and Gary at the moment is showing incredible pace in the wet. And I think in about 4 laps, for those wanting to do a 2-stopper, they're probably going to go in and get a set of tires. I don't think any of these drivers will necessarily do that unless their tire wear is that bad. I mean, unless the weather is going to be changing later on, but at the moment, this weather just seems to have no end in sight. Checking in with Astro, he might be able to make a move here soon enough to get past Sully. Astro does seem to have the better pace of the 2 Williams. I think it would be wise to let Astro through so they can go on the attack of Budweiser. Looks like Sully's going to fight tooth and nail to hold on to his position. Astro may be looking for an opportunity here, but just can't get that run he's looking for. And it looks like Luke Layton has now disconnected. That's going to allow GDG to make his way through with ease. Now Astro going on the grass a little bit. Is going to fight with his teammate going into the chicane. Sully nearly forcing his teammate off the track there. Did Sully even notice his teammate alongside him? I just hope Astro doesn't have any damage for that. What was Sully doing there? The last thing, well, really, okay, the #1 rule as an F1 driver that you never do, never hit your teammate. Absolutely never. Do not beat Daniel Ricciardo in Baku 2018. Alright, Astro's gonna get a massive run. Just not close enough to get past Spunk. And honestly, their fighting has cost them more time to Budweiser. I think Astro does have the stronger the pace of the two, but Sully's just holding him up, and I think that's a detriment to the both of them, as Not Pop and Trash go wheel to wheel. They bang wheels, and Not Pop finds himself ahead. Bullet, also gaining, is going to be looking to take the fight to the both of them soon enough. Fernandez is going to get a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. As you can see, penalties can mean a world of a difference. But at the moment, it doesn't seem to be too major of an impact because, well, Blitz is still just too far out for any of those penalties to mean anything for him. So in case it's Petite, and everybody else is kind of running even. Checking in with the telemetry of these drivers. Let's take a look here. Astro's burning plenty, but so is Sully. He's still fighting to hold on to position. And honestly, I do think it's to the detriment of the team. I do think in this situation, Astro does have the better pace, so in the best interest of the team, it would be a good idea for Sully to just let him go so he can fight for a podium. Meanwhile, Luke Layton, who's still disconnected, is going to lose all the places that he did have. Is going to be stuck all the way in dead last. Now, this is a good position for Astro to be in. With this run, if he manages to stay close enough on this next exit, he should be able to make a move and finally get past. Alright, that's going to be not exactly the exit he was looking for, but that is going to be plenty of speed. Will it be enough to get alongside his teammate? No, it won't. He's still going to have to remain behind. Astro's looking for any opportunity he can to get past his teammate, but he just can't find a way through. Meanwhile, catching him with Solar, he is actually catching him with Blitz quite quickly. He was over 4 seconds behind. He's now cut that gap cleanly in half, unfortunately gaining another penalty while he was at it. So he will be losing time for that. Oh, and Astro's going to get a much better run. This might be the opportunity he's looking for. Gaining much more speed. He's going to be able to eye up a move. He's going to take... no, actually, he's going to back out. Never mind. I'm kind of disappointed. I think he could have sent it on the inside, but probably didn't want to risk causing an incident. And he is going to get a solid run down this straight. He's finally going to be able to make that move that he's been eyeing to make for a while. Gaining a lot of speed here. He'll be able to get alongside and now ahead of Sully. Take a hold of 4th place, and now he's free to chase after Budweiser. And already you can see he's gaining a lot of time already ahead of his teammate. Yellow flag in Sector 1. That's the Red Bull of Blitz off the track. Solar's not going to get much further ahead. Blitz is going to lose a lot of time for that. Meanwhile, checking with the telemetry, they're actually about even, but I do think Astro does have better pace at the moment. He's already pulling away quickly from his teammate. And if he can just gain about a second and a half, Astro can gain a podium here. He is actually gaining at least a little bit on Budweiser. But it's going to be a matter of just slowly chipping it away lap by lap. Astro is nearly under 4 seconds behind already, which is going to be a great start. Meanwhile, Spunk, is he going to really be eyeing up a move? Okay, good. He chooses to back out. I don't think he would have been able to make it. Meanwhile, Trash is gaining on Pop. He'll be looking to make a move back soon enough. The two have been fighting for a while, and so far, none of these drivers have chosen to stop. I think all of them are going to try to go on until the end, or at least until the weather improves enough to maybe put on a set of eventers. But I can tell you this, while all these puddles around the track are still out, it's probably not a good idea to switch to those intermediate tires. More time penalties are starting to stack up. I think Luke Leadon has successfully rejoined as he is gaining on Pyrex here. And Budweiser's going to be able to take the fastest lap. He seems to be on a much better run now. Perhaps he might be able to take the fight to Diego. Either that or he's just trying to make sure there's a good gap between himself and Astro. Make sure that his P3 is well secure as Spunk eyes up a move on Soli and makes his way right ahead. So he's going to be losing out on another position. At the moment, though, these top six are well clear of the rest of the field. It's not Pop gets another penalty. 6 seconds in total for him now. Yellow flag in Sector 3. I think that's a Haas of Pyrex. Spun out, indeed it is. He's going to make his way to the pits as he will need to get a new front wing. Though I have a feeling he may just retire in the pits. Well, again, no, he's actually going to choose to stay out and he's going to keep on going. But that is going to have him be the first car to be lapped. Oh yeah, Rowdy hit that curb too hard. That's going to cause him to spin out, but he'll be able to quickly recover. He'll be losing a lot of time to Luke Layton for that mistake, though. For some reason, telemetry isn't properly showing that. There it is. He's cut that time now in half. Well, Luke Layton, that's going to be another penalty. 9 seconds in total for him now. And Astro has actually gotten a 3-second penalty. Looks like Rowdy had to go in and get a new front wing. He's going to be very far behind now. Meanwhile, looks like Astro maybe starting to gain on Budweiser. He was 4 seconds behind, and now he's cutting down that gap massively. Pyrex is going to retire in the pits. But Bud is starting to lose time, and he's making mistakes as well. As you can see, he's barely keeping in control of his car right now. Either that or that's just his internet. But Astro is gaining rapidly on him right now. Bud is struggling heavily on the track, but Astro is still running just fine. He's gained 8 tenths in a short amount of time on him. This isn't good for Bud. He's lost a lot of time, and he's losing even more as Astro is rapidly gaining. Bud is doing his best to gain time, and he'll flag in Sector 3. Looks like it maybe just be Rowdy. Thing is, Budweiser, he's trying to do his best to gain more and more time, but he's just not doing it. If he gets too desperate, he may make a mistake and get another penalty, as Rowdy is, another driver to simply retire in the pits. A lot of these drivers are tired of racing in the rain. And Budweiser takes the curb again. That's another costly mistake. It's going to allow Astro to gain more time on him. Meanwhile, Pop is actually gonna leave the session. Spunk is keeping up with Astro, and Astro is gaining more and more time on Budweiser. The thing is, that's good news for Spunk. As long as he continues to be dragged along, well, he might just be in for a podium himself. Actually, Astro appears to have made a mistake. Spunk is going to get a great line. But still, he won't be able to get ahead. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Bud. He is losing more and more time. That gap is actually maintaining about even at 3 seconds at the moment. One thing's for sure, though, if Bud gets another penalty, well, he's going to be completely done. Meanwhile, F. Fernandez and Not Pop are battling here, even though Not Pop appears to be lagging, and will be losing position. I think Not Pop may have disconnected. If so, that's going to leave him vulnerable soon enough to Solar. Solar might just be able to fight for some points here. Oh, Pop is actually disconnected. And at the moment, Diego, he's nearly 11 seconds behind. Budweiser's going to set a new fastest lap. Astro has lost all that time he gained on him, and he's about to lose more than that. Spunk is going to be eyeing up a move here, I think on the inside, but he just can't find a way through. Astro is doing his best to mount a defense on Spunk, who is proving to be quite rapid at the moment. And Solar's going to pick up yet another penalty. That's going to be 9 seconds in total for him. And Gary the Goat, despite how ancient his tires must be, he's still running just fine. Checking with the tires, yeah, none of these drivers have stopped. They don't really need to. They can just keep on going. And meanwhile, checking with Astro and Spunk, they've actually both they've cleared an extra second on Budweiser. Looks like he may be having some troubles. He's losing even more time to those cars behind him. This is the closest Astro has been yet, and I think he might be able to gain even more. Oh, Astro gets some oversteer there. That's going to leave him vulnerable to Spunk, who's going to make a run here, but is forced to remain behind at the chicane. He's going to get another run here, though. I think Spunk will want to get through, because if he can just catch up to Budweiser even a little bit, he'll be able to claim a podium. Spunk is going to be able to get some improvement here. But both of them are once again gaining on Budweiser. His final few laps are going to be crucial. Bud can't afford to make any mistakes here, or he's going to be losing out on that podium he so desperately wants. But Astro makes a bit of a mistake. Spunk is going to be free to go after Budweiser. The question is, will he have the pace to catch up? Actually, I think he just might. He's already gaining rapidly. And he's nearly within that range that he's looking for. And he's managed it. He's now potentially getting a podium. He's getting even more time on him. Spunk is managing very well. Meanwhile, Sully gets past. Oh, Astro is disconnected. That's why. Well, that's going to be unfortunate for him. All that fighting he was doing has now been for nothing. Because now, as you can see, Trash is rapidly gaining. Meanwhile, checking in with Evernozo and Bullet, both fighting for 8th place here. Evernozo just can't seem to find a way through just yet. Bob is going to get a time penalty. Yellow flag in Sector 1. Oh, Lou Lane is actually retired from the race. That's another driver who was retired in the pits. Alright, now we'll be able to get a solid look at the gaps. Let's see where Spunk currently is. He is still within that 3-second range he needs to get a hold of a podium. All he needs to do is keep up for a couple more laps, and he's got this set. Spunk has actually lost a bit of time now to Budweiser. He'll need to try and gain it back in these final couple laps. Let's check in with the telemetry on these two drivers. Spunk has just a little bit more. He's burning every single little bit of he has. But at the moment, Gary and Diego are just sitting pretty. They have nothing really to worry about. Gary and Diego both have plenty of ERS. Diego even more so. Just look at that. He has over 80% at the moment. It looks like Bud has managed to regain some speed. He's going to be gaining time on Spunk. He just might be able to keep this podium after all. Looks like Astro has gotten reconnected. Let's hope we can get a little bit more battling between these two. Astro was stuck behind him for a while back, and looks like it's going to be a repeat. However, unless Sully gets a penalty, he will be finishing on top. Budweiser has gotten another time penalty. That has been a costly mistake for him. And that definitely just cost him the podium. I had a feeling he was getting close, and there's a confirmation. Budweiser's going to be missing out on a podium today. Still, fourth place finish is definitely going to be an improvement on his DNF from the first race. And he'll be able to get some points on the board today. Still, I bet Spunk is going to be happy about that. An extra 2.5 second buffer for him is going to be very nice to have. Budweiser, if he still wants to hold on to a podium, he's going to have to pull off a miracle or hope Spunk gets a penalty. Really, it would just be in Spunk's best interest to just keep it as clean as possible. So let's check in with the warning Spunk has at the moment real quick, actually. That's the drivers. Yeah, you can just see how many there are. Okay, he's gotten one. And wait, is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay, so he's gotten one warning already. One. Two. Okay. So, and well, I think he already had... Nope. Okay, so... Indeed. He can't afford to exceed track limits once. If he does, that's going to be his podium completely gone. So he's going to have to keep it clean for a little bit longer. Thankfully, he only has 2 laps left to make that happen. He needs to keep it on the track, and off track limits for just 2 more laps. And the podium is all his. Spunk is actually getting even more time on him now. And the final lap is going to be underway. And I think Fernandez is going to maybe have a move past Bullet here in just a moment. He's looking for an opportunity, but he's going to be forced to back out. Yellow flag in Sector 3. Actually not sure what that is. But Fernando, he's going to be eyeing up a move now on the outside of Bullet, putting himself alongside. He's going to choose to back out once again. I think he just wants to at least beat him on track. He seems very desperate to, nudging him in the back just a little bit. Oh, and Bullet does have an advantage here. Look at how much more ERS he has to burn in comparison. I think he's got this completely under control. Meanwhile, Astro, he's going to be finishing pretty much exactly where he was before, right behind his teammate, unable to get past. But not having that issue is Gary the Go, having an absolutely dominant performance, winning by an incredible margin. Gary the Go is going to win the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And after the time penalties, nearly 20 seconds behind, Diego is going to be able to take second place. This will allow him to hold on to the lead of the championship, but that points gain has been impressive. Spunk also getting plenty of points. Will be able to keep up as well, taking third away from Budweiser, who's going to settle for fourth today. Meanwhile, Sully and Astro are going to come fifth and sixth. Astro just taking a 180 across the line, just for the fun of it. And that's going to be a solid points haul for Williams in the constructor standings. Trash coming 7th, Bullet 8th, Ronaldo 9th, Not Pop 10th, Solar just outside of the points, finishing 11th. 2 Red Bulls of Blitz and GDG finishing 12th and 13th, Petite 14th. And driver of the day is going to go to Spunk. And honestly, for the drive that he had, I would say it is earned. That was an absolutely dominant performance from Gary. If he can continue that form into the rest of this season, he is going to win this championship in a landslide. But he's very comfortable in the wet. Obviously, that's the most common thing, but if it ever comes around again, I think we know it's going to be on top. And that's going to be the end of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. That is going to be a great points haul for Gary. With that extra points, he should be... he will still be a little bit behind in terms of points. Just doing the math off the top of my head real quick. Let's see here. Spunk after the points, he would have 33 points. Diego would have 43. And let's see here, Gary would have also 33. He would be tied with Spunk at the moment in terms of points. Only 10 behind Diego. He will be able to fight in this championship after all. So that's going to be the end of this race. We'll be seeing you all next week for round 3 in Portugal for a sprint race. So we'll be seeing you all then. I've been Mock Mage, and I'll be seeing you all next time.